Quality books are those that enrich adults with imagination, creativity, and some doses of wisdom. Nothing compares to the joy of reading, when it comes to avid readers. This write-up provides information on books that young adults must read. Book reading is certainly one of the most absorbing habits. For young adults who love to read, finding some good books to read is very essential. Writing a synopsis or book review can also improve your understanding of the book, and it also helps you to better your language and writing skills. Must-read books for youngsters. The Lord of the Rings trilogy, cruise through the Middle-earth and experience a saga of exemplary courage, indomitable will, and unflinching faith in the power of good. The Lord of the Rings is an amazing fictional work by J.R.R. Tolkien, and is certainly a treat to read. While reading, you almost feel that you are right there in the battle between Sauron, and the humans, elves, and the dwarfs. The 3 books are as follows: The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, The Return of the King. The Animal Farm. Ever came across this phenomenal quote? All animals are equal, but some are more equal than others. This is one of the most popular quotes from the book, Animal Farm by George Orwell. This quote is just a reflection of the Stalin and World War II era that has been so creatively presented in this book. It is an interesting example of how literature can be used to present conditions prevalent in the society. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. Mark Twain's Adventures of Huckleberry Finn is one of the great American novels in the history, and is certainly a great pick for young adults. Young Huck Finn and his mischief, along with the colorful description of people around the Mississippi River, makes this novel a great book to read. The Book Thief, listed on the New York Times Children's Bestseller list for over 100 weeks. The Book Thief by Marcus Zusak is the story of a young girl in the Nazi camp set during World War II. So, if you love history and wish to learn how the life was during Adolf Hitler's time, read this historic book. To Kill a Mockingbird, a classic of modern-day American literature, this book deals with the story of a 6-year-old scout, whose family, his father, is caught in the ugliness of racism. It is certainly one of the classic books that everyone should read in their lifetime. The Kite Runner, a novel by Khaled Hosseini. This imaginative and beautiful work of literature takes you down in the epics of history, fall of Afghanistan through Soviet Union invasion and life in these conditions. It describes the rigid caste system and the horrors of the war. Anne Frank, The Diary of a Young Girl. Even Anne Frank must not have imagined that her personal diary written during the World War II would become such a popular book. It's a must-read and a reread that describes the situation of a family and the evils of wars through the eyes of a teenager. The Harry Potter series, the most famous and popular fiction book ever in history. J.K. Rowling's Harry Potter series has been a treat for all fiction lovers. With a record number of sales, Harry Potter books take you into a world of adventure and enthralling fun. The Harry Potter series has been adapted in movies, however, the movies are just a glimpse of the masterpiece. One of the best fiction books for young adults. The series include Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix, Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. The Twilight series among teenagers and young adults. The Twilight series by Stephenie Meyer has gained huge popularity. The 4-part series can be rated to be among one of the best fantasy books for youngsters. That is certainly due to the mystery and elusiveness the author has created in these books. Although Twilight can certainly be called a romance novel, bookstores place these books in the category of science fiction and fantasy. Here are the 4 parts of Twilight books in order. Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn, The Demon's Lexicon. It is not that you must be consumed by the Harry Potter mania when you think of fiction. There are several other books of fiction that do need worthy mention, and one of them is The Demon's Lexicon. Written by Sarah Rees Brennan, this book is a good one for someone who has just started reading fiction. Fantasy books. Although some of the best fiction works have been mentioned above, there are still some very good fantasy books that youngsters can read. These include The Giver by Lois Lowry, Holes by Louis Satcher, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain, Carrie by Stephen King, Chronicles of Narnia by C.S. Lewis, His Dark Materials trilogy by Philip Pullman, The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien, Great Expectations by Charles Dickens. The aforementioned list includes just a few of the real classics in English literature. However, there are several books that young adults would enjoy reading. So, create your own list and hone your language skills.